Well, it's been a momentous week at the Princess Diana inquest, with testimony and evidence centring around a photographer accused by Mohammed Al Fayed of driving a white Fiat in the tunnel when the crash occurred. It's claimed that James Andanson worked for MI6 and was responsible for the fatal collision. The author Martin Gregory has a roundup of this week's inquest highlights.
Sex, lies and audio tape featured in Diana and Dodi's inquest this week. It was, however, dominated by the late French photographer James Andanson. Mohammed Al Fayed claims he was driving the mysterious white Fiat in the Alma tunnel when Henri Paul's Mercedes hit Pillar 13. Henri Paul's parents, Jean and Giselle, gave evidence via video link from Paris on Monday. They told the court their son was not a big drinker and they had never seen him drunk. They had been hurt by claims that he was an alcoholic. The inquest jury has already heard that Henri Paul was more than 3 times over the French drink-drive limit when he died. The jury's also been made aware of Mr. Al Fayed's claim that the photographer James Andanson was working for MI6 and that he and his white Fiat were responsible for the crash. On Tuesday, the head of the French police was questioned over his conclusion that Andanson and his car were not involved. Andanson had told the police he'd been at home with his wife 160 kilometres outside Paris on the night of the crash. The court was shown toll booth receipts detailing a journey he'd made from his home in the early hours of the following morning. His elderly white Fiat, he'd said, had been in his shed and hadn't been used for some months. Andanson died in 2000. His body was found in the remains of a burning car. On Wednesday, the pathologist said there were no visible signs of foul play. Later that day, the audio tape from Kelly Fisher. Dodi was dating her and arguably even engaged to her when he met Diana. The former Calvin Klein model gave evidence before Christmas. At the coroner's request, she sent the inquest the recording of a phone conversation she'd had with Dodi less than 2 weeks before the crash. They argued fiercely about their split. Using colourful and unbroadcastable language, she reminded Dodi that she'd been present in Saint-Tropez when he had seduced Diana by day and slept with her, Kelly, by night. She asked Dodi, "Why are you doing this? Because it's Princess Diana?" Next week, Lord Stevens will give evidence. He led the 3-year probe into the conspiracy theories which surround the crash. He'll tell the court how much evidence he found to support them. It could be an explosive week.